And can you tell the jury why something like this is important pursuant to an investigation?
Essentially, why this is important is it shows that the records that we received for the specific count we received them from are accurate.
Okay. All right, that can be passed back down. Thank you. To your knowledge, do you know who owns Instagram?
Yes, Instagram and Facebook are both owned by Meta.
Okay. And were you able to conduct an analysis on Facebook and Instagram records of the defendant, Megan Boswell?
Yes.
And were these records obtained via a valid search warrant for those records?
Yes.
Okay. In reviewing, I guess let me ask you this. Were you able to review all of the information, not just the Facebook and Instagram records, but all of the information that you were provided regarding digital evidence in this case?
Yes, I reviewed a number of different phone extractions as well as search warrant returns.
Okay. Based upon this, were you able to identify conversations pertinent to this investigation?
Yes.
Have you identified and reviewed those in preparation for court today?
Yes.
I'm going to pass you 2 pages here. Take a look and see if you recognize that.
I do.
Okay. And what is it?
So there are conversations that were located on Miss Boswell's Facebook account.
Okay. And is it a conversation between the defendant and someone else?
Yes.
And who is the other person?
It is Haley Spiro.
Okay. And is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation that you reviewed on Megan Boswell's Facebook search warrant extraction?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell me the date of that conversation?
This was on December 8th, 2019.
Your Honor, at this time, we would ask that be admitted as exhibit number 231.
Objection. Motion. Approach up here for a second. Subject to your statement. There's no objection to 231, subject to the court's previous ruling.
And permission to publish, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Okay. Agent Durant, is this the conversation we were just discussing?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell me what the defendant states right after it shows that she called Haley on the phone?
So the defendant states, I'll have to double check with her dad as her, or her dad has her, but I should have an extra.
Okay.
And then it goes to, I don't think I sent them all with him, but then again, I might have because I'm irresponsible.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, this will be subject to my prior objection before so ruling.
I'm going to pass you two documents. We're going to go through them one at a time. You could look first at the one with the earliest date on it, please.
Okay.
And do you recognize that document?
I do.
And can you tell me what it is?
So it's a conversation between the defendant, I believe it was Alexia Roop.
Okay. And what's the date of that conversation?
December 18th, 2019.
Okay. And then for the second page that I handed you, who was the conversation with on that second page?
So this one was, and also a conversation from that Facebook social media proceeds, also between the defendant and Alexia Roop.
Okay. And what is the date of that conversation?
That is December 27th of 2019.
Okay. And are those both fair and accurate representations of the conversations that you reviewed on the defendant's Facebook search warrant extraction?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we'd ask that those be made as separate exhibits for the 12/18 date, exhibit number 232, and for the December 27th date, exhibit number 233.
With the full exhibit subject to the defendant's prior objection and full approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Permission to publish. Okay, first we'll go to the December 18th message. Alexia Roop says, so I'm probably never going to get this money, am I? LOL. And what does the defendant say?
The defendant says, I'm really sorry, I've been busy. I've been so busy. My child's father took her from me, and it's been one thing after another, and I'm sorry I've not been able to meet and stuff. Sundays are my only day off, and the only time I really have to meet.
Okay. And next, we'll go to the December 27th conversation. Alexia says to the defendant, you never sent it. And what does the defendant say?
Defendant says, I honestly have to get a new one. Have to go get a new one. Can I give you my social? And you try that card. I put money on it again.
And then Alexia says, yeah, I can try. And what does the defendant say?
I'm sorry. I'm just so busy and like in a custody fight with Evelyn's dad right now. And I'm exhausted, to be honest with you. And I'm trying to keep up with everything as is. I'm really hoping we can get that prepaid card figured out.
Okay. Pass you one page and ask if you recognize it.
I do.
Okay, can you tell us what it is?
It's another conversation from the Facebook warrant between Miss Boswell and Jesse Rosenbaum.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate, let me ask you, what is the date of that conversation?
It's January 13th, 2020.
Okay, is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation as you saw it on that social media extraction?
Yes.
Okay, we'd ask that be made exhibit number 234.
234.
Okay, permission to publish? Okay. If you could tell us what the defendant says on January 13th of 2020.
So the defendant says, I lost custody of Evelyn to Ethan, and I've been in a mood. I really don't want to deal with their shit right now. I've not told anyone but you that. He told me our court date was a different date than what it was, and I didn't know, so I was late to it.
Okay. And then Jesse Rosenbaum says, damn, that sucks. Effed up shit. You could call a retrial. And then what does Megan say?
I'm trying to. I've not even told anyone that happened yet. I just don't want to deal with them, you know. And then she also says, like they always drag me into their problems, then bitch at me for being in their problems after they put me in the middle. LOL.
Okay. Handing you 2 pages. I'm ask you the same thing if you can recognize them.
I do.
Okay. And can you tell us what it is?
It's a conversation between Christopher Hall and Miss Boswell.
Okay. And the date of that conversation?
January 26, 2020.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of how that looked when you analyzed Megan Boswell's Facebook extraction?
Yes.
We would ask that be made exhibit number 235.
Exhibit 235. What was that date again?
January 26, 2020. Permission to publish? So Christopher Hall asks, how's Evelyn? And what does the defendant say?
Defendant says, good, mean as fuck.
And he says, aw. And what does Megan Boswell say?
She says, she hates me.
Okay. Okay. May we approach your honor? I'm going to pass you 2 pages. And ask if you can identify that.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us what it is?
So it's this was a conversation on Facebook between the defendant and Miss Shirley Lowry.
Okay. And what was the date of that conversation?
This was February 18th, 2020.
Okay, is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation from the defendant's Facebook extraction?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 236.
The full exhibit 236. Pursuant to court's order.
Permission to publish.
Go ahead.
Okay. For the first page of this, I'm trying to get a little bit bigger. Can you just read to the jury what the defendant says on February 18th of 2020?
So the first message that comes through is hello, question mark. The next message is, if you want to know what's going on, I couldn't bring Evelyn over because Ethan wouldn't let me pick her up, and I have court in the morning. I'm sorry, and I hate to be rude about this, but you don't have any rights to my child, and what goes on between me, her, and her dad stays between me, her, and her dad. So the following message is, I have court in the morning to set up a specific plan where he has her 1 week and I have her another.
Okay. And is that conversation, let me make it smaller. Okay. And then for the record, there's a photograph there, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and what does the defendant say after that photograph?
She says, this was her when I saw her last weekend, and then follows up with, if dad didn't flip out when I come on the property, I'd bring her by. Not that it's any of your business, though, and don't involve anyone else in it.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that up for just a second because I want to ask you some questions about this photograph. So again, we're looking at the date, February 18th, 2020. Is that right?
Yes.
And that's the date the message was sent to Shirley Lowry.
Yes.
Okay. Were you able to determine, based upon your analysis of the defendant's Facebook, is that picture an accurate representation of being taken the weekend before February 18th of 2020?
No.
Can you tell me how you know that that picture is an old picture?
While reviewing the conversations from the search warrant proceeds, I located that same photo, which was sent to Ethan on November 30th of 2019.
Okay. Okay. Same thing. I'm going to ask if you're able to identify that.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what it is?
It's a conversation between Kristen Arnett and the defendant.
Okay. And is there a date on that conversation?
February 22nd, 2020.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation between the defendant and Kristen Arnett on that date from her Facebook proceeds?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 237.
237, subject to court's order.
Permission to publish.
Go ahead.
I'll try to make this one a little bit bigger. Christian Arnett says, honey, I pray that you come out of this. I pray you and that baby are both safe. All you got to do is be honest, honey. I'm praying so hard for you. And what does the defendant say in response?
I am being 100% honest and trying to help find my baby. I was scared of the person who took her. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, passed you a document. Do you recognize that document?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
This was a conversation between the defendant and Hunter.
Hunter Wood?
Hunter Wood, yes.
Okay, and is there a date for that conversation?
There is. It's December 27th of 2019.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation as you viewed it during your analysis?
Yes.
We ask that be made exhibit number 238.
Full exhibit 238, subject to court prior order.
And permission to publish. Okay. If you can, just tell us what the defendant says to Hunter Wood on December 27th and December 28th.
On December 27th, the defendant says, "Text me again so I have your number. I ended up just swapping phones with her." And then follows on with, "Hey, I'm gonna leave here soon. Ethan and I talked, and he's going to stay home." And then is followed by, he thinks that what would be best, also because I'm obviously not a very stable parent right now, and Evelyn doesn't want to come home with me.
Okay. Okay, same question.
Yes, I recognize this.
Can you tell me what it is?
So it's a conversation between the defendant and Hunter.
Okay, and what is the date of that?
The date of this one is February the 19th of 2020.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation that you viewed pursuant to your analysis of the defendant's social media?
Yes.
Okay, we'd ask that be made exhibit number 239.
Full exhibit 239, subject to court prior order.
And permission to publish. If you could, read to the jury each of these text bubbles from the defendant to Hunter Wood on February 19th of 2020.
Yes. It says, "Hey, I have no clue why you're mad at me, but I've been waiting for Mom for fucking hours at the BP. Can I please come sleep in your truck if I get a ride there?" And she says, "Like, seriously, I've done nothing. I've not done anything for you to be mad at me. I love you, and I was supposed to leave so long ago, and I tired as fucking hell. I'm also pregnant with your child, so you could let me sleep in your truck. I'm gonna just come anyways and sleep in it when I can find a ride. I'm so tired and I needed you tonight, but thank you, Hunter. I might just say fuck it and come in. And then she tried to call and Hunter missed a call. And then the final one is I've tried to call.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to pass you 7 pages. Take a moment to look through that. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to view that exhibit?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what it is?
So it's a conversation between the defendant and Hunter.
Okay. Hunter Wood?
Hunter Wood. Yes.
Okay. And is there a date on that conversation?
Yes. February 22nd of 2020.
Okay. And is that also a fair and accurate representation of the conversation as you viewed it when you did an analysis of the defendant's social media?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 240.
He collected exhibit 240, subject is course prior warning.
Permission to publish.
Go ahead.
We're just going to go through it page by page.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. What does Megan Boswell start out saying on February 22nd of 2020?
The defendant states, "Hey, I texted you just so that you know it's really me.
And Hunter Wood says, change your Facebook name. And what does the defendant say?
I will in a few. Will you please bring me a change of clothes? TBI is in North Carolina with my mom. Literally, I don't care what clothes are. I just don't have anything at the moment."
And Hunter said, they said there was no baby with her though. I'm at my mom's. And what does the defendant say?
She's still under arrest and being questioned. Can you please do that for me, though?
And then Hunter says, yeah, but where's the baby? I just want the baby to be found safely. And what does the defendant say?
Dad won't let me go anywhere because of the situation. Hunter, I can't disclose stuff to you on here about what TBI is doing.
Then Hunter says, but please assure to me that the baby will be found and brought home safely. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Then what does, I'll scroll down in a second, what does the defendant say in response to that?
Hunter, I have full faith in the TBI and everyone I've spoken to that they will get the truth out of my mom and bring my baby back to me. Can you come talk? ? Or your mom? ? I just can't disclose anything much more over the internet at this point in time or over the phone, and I hope you can understand that.
Okay, I'll move that up a little bit, and if you could continue.
If you don't want to, I'll speak to your mom and she can tell you. Also tell her thank you for reporting the car missing. If mom has told you anything that is off-putting, please let me know. If she told you anything at all. Please tell me, please, anything at all. Did she ever mention Mendota to you? She kept trying to take me there, and I'm trying to find a ride up there to go looking.
Okay. Oh, I'll make this one smaller. Okay. And what does the defendant, I guess it's a continuation from the last page, what is she saying?
So please let me know if you know anything about Mendota. I know it's late, but can you take me somewhere in Mendota, along a river? Mom used to talk about it.
And Hunter says, get your dad or TBI to take you. And what does the defendant say?
I can't get a hold of David, and there's no way in hell Dad will take me.
Okay. And then what does the defendant say?
David's not replying to me, probably because they're down in North Carolina dealing with my mother.
And then Hunter Wood says, I'll contact Chris Wilhoit and see what he says to do. And what does the defendant say?
Who is that? I don't know exactly where it is.
And Hunter says, the leading TBI agent. What does the defendant say?
I just know a river in Mendota. Someone told Dad they wanted to talk to him.
Okay. And then what does the defendant say?
Same place Mom got arrested for trespassing in Scott County, Holston River.
And then Hunter says, what does that have to do with the baby? And what does the defendant say?
Only place I know she might be connected with in Mendota. Dad is on the phone with someone right now. Something about who reported the car she saw. She says she would only talk to Dad and that she had important information.
Okay. And what does she say in that last message?
Dad's on the phone with her recording the call.
Wait, this is the last page. I might have to make this one a little bit bigger. And then Hunter says, what did they say? And what does the defendant say back to Hunter?
She said my mom dropped the baby off behind a church 3 days ago. They're looking into the church thing right now. She said a church off 394. I think she said Feathers Chapel. Dad talked to her. Not sire, but I'm losing my shit right now and have no one. I have to find Evelyn now. It's been 3 days already. What if she's cold and hungry?
Okay, and then what does she say? I'll move that up a little bit, with where it starts, Hunter, please.
Hunter, please, no one will take me to look for her mom. Had to have dropped her off somewhere. Please help me find my baby. And she continues, says, if you won't take me, I'm literally going to steal a car. I don't care. I'm sitting at Food City with the cops. Hunter, if she dropped her off 3 days ago, time is ticking fast. And she says, hey, TBI has some sort of update. I'm about to head up there now. I'll let you and Melissa know. And then she ends with, are you up? ?
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, may we approach?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have you go with the officer. I just been informed your lunch is here. We'll start back at, probably 1:15.
Everyone stand, please.